The text came at 2:47 p.m. on a Tuesday, while I was in the middle of a board meeting at Torres Entertainment Group. Picked up Emma and Jake from school. Disney World, here we come. They're having fun, deal with it. Sophia. I stared at the message, my blood pressure spiking. My sister had taken my children, my 8-year-old daughter and 6-year-old son, on a cross-country trip without asking. Without permission. Without even a conversation. I excused myself from the meeting and immediately called Emma's school. Miss Torres, yes, Sophia picked them up around 1 p.m. She's on your approved pickup list, and she had a note saying it was a family emergency. A family emergency. Of course she'd lied to get them. I called Sophia directly. Straight to voicemail. Sophia, bring my children back immediately. This is kidnapping. My phone buzzed with another text. Relax, Anna. Kids deserve a vacation. You work too much anyway. We'll be back Sunday. Sunday. Today was Tuesday. She planned to keep my children for nearly a week without my consent. I tried calling again. Still voicemail. This time her greeting had changed. Hi. I'm at Disney World with my favorite niece and nephew. If this is Anna, stop being such a control freak and let the kids have fun. My assistant knocked on the conference room door. Miss Torres? Everything okay? Jennifer, I need you to track down Sofia Martinez, my sister. She's taken my children to Disney World. I need to know exactly where they're staying. Should I call security? Not yet. But have them on standby. Jennifer was back within 20 minutes. Miss Torres, they're at the Grand Floridian Resort. The reservation is under Sofia Martinez, but the payment method is. She paused, checking her notes. A black American Express card registered to Anna Torres. My black card. Sophia had been using my emergency credit card, which I'd given her months ago when her husband lost his job and they were struggling with rent. It was supposed to be for groceries and utilities, not unauthorized Disney vacations with my children. Thank you, Jennifer. Can you get me Disney's security on the line? Their corporate security? Yes. And patch me through to the Grand Floridian's management. While Jennifer made the calls, I paced my office, looking out at the Orlando skyline. The irony wasn't lost on me. I could see the Disney fireworks from my office window every night. My company, Torres Entertainment, had contracts with Disney for their streaming content. I'd been to countless meetings in that park. But Sophia had no idea about any of that. To her, I was just Anna who worked in television and was too serious about everything. Miss Torres? I have Michael Patterson from Disney Security on line 1, and Sarah Chin from the Grand Floridian on line 2. Put me through to Mr. Patterson first. Miss Torres, I understand there's a situation with your children? My sister took them without permission. She's using my credit card and staying at one of your resort hotels. I need them returned immediately. Ma'am, this is a delicate situation. We can't remove children from a family member without proper legal documentation. Mr. Patterson, are you aware that Torres Entertainment Group holds the exclusive streaming rights for Disney's new series, Magic Kingdom Chronicles? There was a pause. I'm sorry, did you say Torres Entertainment? That's correct. Anna Torresio. And right now, my children are being held at your resort by someone who kidnapped them from their school using false pretenses. Miss Torres, let me escalate this immediately. Please hold. I was transferred to someone higher up the chain, Director of Resort Security. Miss Torres, this is David Rodriguez. I understand your sister has your children at the Grand Floridian? That's correct. And she's using my Black American Express card to fund this unauthorized trip. Ma'am, we can certainly monitor the situation, but unless you want to involve law enforcement. Actually, let me try something first. Can you coordinate with the hotel to flag any charges to my credit card? I'd like to revoke her access. Absolutely. We can place a hold on the card immediately. Perfect. And can you have security call me the moment she tries to use it? Of course, Ms. Torres. Anything else we can do? I thought for a moment. Sophia had always been dramatic, always pushing boundaries. She'd taken my kids to teach me a lesson about being too controlling. But she had no idea who she was messing with. Actually, yes. I'd like to speak with whoever handles VIP guest services. 20 minutes later, I had a plan in motion. Sophia's unauthorized Disney vacation was about to become very complicated. My phone rang at 6:30 p.m. Miss Torres? This is hotel security at the Grand Floridian. The Sofia Martinez party is trying to charge dinner to their room, but the card is declining. Perfect. What's happening? She's quite upset. She's demanding to speak with management and claiming there's been a mistake. Can you patch me through to wherever she is? She's at Citrico's restaurant. Hold on. I heard background noise, the clatter of dishes, conversation, and then Sofia's voice, sharp with frustration. This is ridiculous. The card worked fine this afternoon. Ma'am, I heard a staff member say, the card holder has revoked authorization. Is there another form of payment? Revoked authorization? That's impossible. This is my sister's card. That's when the staff member apparently mentioned that the card holder was on the line. Anna. Sofia's voice was tight with anger. What the hell are you doing? What am I doing? Sofia, you kidnapped my children. I didn't kidnap anyone. I took them on vacation. Emma and Jake are having the time of their lives. Without asking me. Without permission. You lied to their school and said it was an emergency. Because I knew you'd say no. You never let them do anything fun. I could hear Emma and Jake in the background asking what was wrong, why Aunt Sophia was upset. Sophia, bring them home. Now. No. We're staying until Sunday like I planned. The kids deserve this. With what money? I've canceled the card. You can't do that. Anna, we're stuck here. We can't even pay for dinner. That sounds like a problem you should have considered before taking my children across the country without permission. The restaurant manager apparently took the phone. Miss Torres? This is Margaret Walsh, manager at Citrico's. We have a situation here. Yes, I'm aware. The woman with my children doesn't have authorization to use my credit card. Ma'am, we have other guests watching this scene unfold. Is there any way we can resolve this quietly? I paused for effect. Actually, I think I can help. Can you transfer the Martinez party to a different table? Somewhere more private. Of course. And can you have security escort them there? I'd like to speak with my sister privately. 5 minutes later, Sophia was back on the phone, and I could tell she'd been moved to a quieter location. Anna, you're embarrassing me in front of the kids. I'm embarrassing you? Sophia, you stole my children. I didn't steal them. I'm their aunt. You're their aunt, not their parent. You don't get to make decisions about their lives. Someone has to. You work 16 hours a day. You never take them anywhere fun. Sophia, do you have any idea what I do for work? You work in television or something. I don't know, Anna, you never talk about it. I own Torres Entertainment Group. We produce content for Disney, Netflix, Amazon Prime. I work long hours because I'm building something. There was silence on the other end. Sophia? Are you there? You own a company? A multi-million-dollar company. And one of our biggest clients is Disney. The same Disney where you're currently holding my children hostage. Anna, I had no idea. Of course you didn't. Because you never ask. You never show any interest in my life unless you need money. That's not fair. Isn't it? When's the last time you asked about my work? My goals? My challenges? When's the last time you showed up for anything that mattered to me? I could hear her breathing, but she didn't respond. Sophia, I work long hours because I'm a single mother building a business that will secure my children's futures. Every contract I negotiate, every meeting I take, every decision I make is for Emma and Jake. I thought I was helping. By lying to their school? By taking them out of state without telling me where they were going? By using my credit card to fund a trip you knew I wouldn't approve? Anna, I'm sorry. I really thought. You thought you knew what was best for my children better than I did. The hotel manager came back on the line. Miss Torres? We've moved the party to a private dining room. Would you like to continue this conversation in person? In person? Well, ma'am, I assumed, given that Torres Entertainment has offices here in Orlando. Sophia's voice in the background. Wait, what? Anna, are you here? Sophia, where exactly do you think I've been working while you've been parading my children around Disney World? In Los Angeles? Your office. My main office is in Orlando. I've been 20 minutes away this entire time. The silence that followed was deafening. Sophia, I want you to listen very carefully. I'm going to come to the hotel. We're going to have a conversation about boundaries, respect, and what it means to be a responsible adult. And then we're going to figure out how to fix this situation. Are you going to have me arrested? I haven't decided yet. 30 minutes later, I walked into the Grand Floridian Resort. The lobby was exactly as elegant as always, but tonight I wasn't there for business meetings or client dinners. I was there to collect my children from my sister, who had finally learned that actions have consequences. The hotel manager met me at the front desk. Miss Torres, they're in the alcove private dining room. The children have been fed and your sister is, well, she's waiting for you. How are Emma and Jake? They seem fine, though a bit confused about why the adults are upset. They keep asking if they're in trouble. They're not in trouble. Thank you for handling this discreetly. I walked through the resort toward the private dining room, my heels clicking on the marble floors. I'd been in this hotel dozens of times for business, but never under circumstances like this. I opened the door to find Sophia sitting across from Emma and Jake, looking smaller than I'd ever seen her. My children jumped up when they saw me. Mommy. Emma ran to hug me. Are you mad at us? No, sweetheart. You're not in trouble. Aunt Sophia made some choices that weren't okay, but you didn't do anything wrong. Jake looked confused. But Aunt Sophia said you'd be happy we went to Disney. Aunt Sophia should have asked Mommy first before taking you anywhere. I sat down at the table and Sophia finally looked me in the eyes. Anna, I honestly had no idea about your company, about your work. Sophia, that's the problem. You made a huge decision about my children's lives without knowing anything about my life. I thought I was helping. You always seem so stressed, so overwhelmed. I am stressed. I'm a single mother running a business. But that doesn't give you the right to make parenting decisions for me. Emma climbed into my lap. Mommy, we went on Space Mountain and saw Mickey Mouse and ate ice cream for lunch. That sounds wonderful, honey. But next time we plan trips together as a family, okay? Hey. Are you and Aunt Sophia fighting? I looked at Sophia, who looked genuinely remorseful for the first time since this whole thing started. Aunt Sophia and I have different ideas about how to make decisions. But we're going to work it out. Sophia leaned forward. Anna, what can I do to fix this? First, you can never take my children anywhere without my explicit permission again. Of course. Never. Second, you can start asking about my life instead of making assumptions. I will. Anna, I really didn't know about your company. I thought you were just, I don't know, working at some regular job. There's nothing wrong with regular jobs, Sophia. But the point is you didn't ask. You decided what kind of person I was and what kind of mother I was without actually knowing anything about my situation. Jake was getting restless. Mommy, can we go on one more ride before we leave? I looked at my watch. It was almost 8 p.m. Sophia, how long had you planned to stay? Until Sunday. I booked a suite through the weekend. A suite. With my credit card. Anna, I'll pay you back. With what money? Last month you needed help with rent. She looked down at the table. I know. I just wanted to give them something special. Sophia, do you want to know something about my work? Yes. One of the things Torres Entertainment does is produce family content. Shows about parents and children, about what makes families strong. And do you know what we've learned from all that research? She shook her head. The most important thing you can give children isn't expensive vacations or fancy experiences. Stability, consistency, and trust. When you took Emma and Jake without telling me, you broke their trust in the adults who are supposed to protect them. Emma looked up at me. What's trust? Trust is when you know the people who love you will always tell you the truth and keep you safe. When Aunt Sophia took you to Disney without asking Mommy first, it made it hard for Mommy to trust that you were safe. Oh. Emma thought about this. Should Aunt Sophia have asked first? Yes, she should have. Sophia wiped her eyes. Emma, Jake, I'm sorry. I should have asked your Mommy before taking you on this trip. It's okay, Aunt Sophia, Jake said. But next time can Mommy come too? I felt my heart soften slightly. You know what? Next time we plan a Disney trip, we'll all go together. But first, Aunt Sophia and I need to finish our grown-up conversation. I arranged for Emma and Jake to wait in the lobby with hotel staff while Sophia and I talked privately. Anna, I need you to know that I wasn't trying to hurt you or undermine you as a parent. Then what were you trying to do? I thought you were missing out on their childhood because you work so much. I thought if I showed them a good time, maybe you'd realize that there's more to life than work. Sophia, do you know why I work as much as I do? To make money? To build something that will last. Emma and Jake's father isn't in the picture. I'm their only parent. Every deal I close, every client I sign, every hour I work, it's all going toward their college funds, their future opportunities, their security. But what about now? What about their childhood? What about it? They're in excellent schools. They have music lessons, art classes, sports teams. We go to movies, we have game nights, we read together every evening. Sophia looked surprised. I didn't know that. Biz, you never asked. You saw that I work a lot and assumed that meant I was neglecting them. I was wrong. Yes, you were. But Sophia, here's what I don't understand. If you thought I was a bad mother, why didn't you talk to me about it? Why didn't you offer to help in a constructive way? I don't know. I guess I thought you'd get defensive. So instead you decided to take my children without permission? When you put it that way, it sounds really bad. It is really bad, Sophia. And it's illegal. He started crying. Anna, please don't have me arrested. I know I messed up, but I love Emma and Jake. I would never actually hurt them. I sat back in my chair thinking. Sophia had made a terrible decision, but her intentions hadn't been malicious. She'd been wrong, incredibly wrong, but she'd been wrong while trying to help. Sophia, I'm not going to have you arrested. But things have to change. Anything. I'll do anything. First, you pay me back for this trip. Not all at once, but you set up a payment plan and you stick to it. Okay. Second, you never make decisions about my children again without asking me first. Not where they go, not what they do, not what they eat. Nothing. I understand. Third, you start acting like an adult. You want to be part of Emma and Jake's lives? Then you be reliable. You show up when you say you will. You follow through on promises. You respect boundaries. I will. Anna, I promise. And fourth, you start asking about my life. If you want to understand why I work the way I do, then take an interest in what I'm building. I want to. I really do. I looked at her for a long moment. Sophia was 26 years old, married to a man who couldn't hold down a job, struggling financially and emotionally. She'd made a terrible decision, but she was still my sister. Sophia, do you want to know what Torres Entertainment is working on right now? Yes. We're producing a documentary series about single mothers who've built successful businesses. The challenges they face, the sacrifices they make, the way they balance work and family. Really? Really? And watching you with Emma and Jake tonight, seeing how much you love them, I think you might have some insights that could help with the project. You mean, you'd want me to help? I mean, I'd want you to understand what I do and why I do it. And maybe, if you're interested in learning about television production, we could find a way for you to be involved. Sophia's eyes lit up. Anna, that would be amazing. It would also be work. Real work with real responsibilities. Are you ready for that? Yes. Absolutely. I stood up. Hey, here's what's going to happen. We're going to collect Emma and Jake from the lobby. You're going to check out of your suite tonight. But the kids were so excited about staying here. Sophia, they can be excited about coming back another time. When we plan it together as a family. Okay. And tomorrow you're going to come to my office and we're going to have a real conversation about boundaries, expectations, and what it means to be a reliable aunt. I'll be there. As we walked back to the lobby to collect Emma and Jake, Sophia turned to me. Anna, I really am sorry. I thought I was helping, but I see now that I was being selfish. Sophia, wanting to do something nice for the kids isn't selfish. But not thinking through the consequences, not respecting me as their mother, not considering what this would do to them if something had gone wrong, that was selfish. I know. It won't happen again. Emma and Jake ran to us when they saw us coming. Are we going home now? Emma asked. Sweetie, we're going home. But we didn't get to go on the haunted mansion, Jake protested. You know what? I knelt down to his level. Maybe next month, if you're both good at school and Aunt Sophia apologizes properly, we can all come back together for a day trip. Really? Really? But next time we plan it ahead of time and everyone knows what's happening. Okay. As we walked toward the exit, Sophia pulled me aside. Anna, can I ask you something? Sure. When you said you work 20 minutes away, do you really have offices in Orlando? Sophia, Torres Entertainment has offices in Orlando, Los Angeles, and New York. We employ over 300 people. We produce content that's seen by millions of viewers every week. I had no idea. I know. But now you do. And now you get to decide what you want to do with that information. We drove home in my car, Sophia would have to figure out how to get her rental car back to the airport, and the kids chattered about their day at Disney. They'd had fun, there was no denying that. But they'd also learned something about trust, about asking permission, about what happens when adults don't communicate properly. As I tucked Emma into bed that night, she looked up at me. "Mommy, are you still mad at Aunt Sophia?" "I'm disappointed in the choice she made. But I'm not mad anymore." "Good. I like it better when everyone gets along." "Me too, sweetheart." "Me too." The next morning, Sophia showed up at Torres Entertainment at exactly 9 a.m., dressed professionally and carrying a notebook. "I'm ready to learn," she said. "Good. Because we have a lot to talk about." Over the next several hours, I walked Sophia through my business, my responsibilities, and my goals for Emma and Jake's futures. I showed her the projects we were working on, the decisions I made every day, and the way I balanced work demands with parenting. "Anna, I had no idea it was this complex." "Most people don't. They see that I work a lot and assume I'm just ambitious or money-focused. But every choice I make is about creating security and opportunities for my children. I feel terrible about yesterday. Yesterday is done. What matters is what happens next. I want to be better. I want to be the kind of aunt Emma and Jake can count on. Then prove it. Show up consistently. Respect boundaries. Ask before you act." "I will." 6 months later, Sophia had become one of my most reliable family members. She'd taken a part-time position with Torres Entertainment, learning production skills and contributing to our documentary about single mothers. She'd also become the kind of aunt who asked permission before making plans, who showed up when she said she would, and who understood that loving children means respecting their parents. And the following December we took that planned family trip to Disney World, all together with proper planning, and with everyone understanding that the best family experiences happen when everyone feels safe, respected, and heard. The black card incident became family legend, but not as a story about punishment. It became a story about communication, about the importance of understanding each other's lives, and about how even the worst decisions can become opportunities to grow closer as a family. Emma and Jake learned that trust is earned through consistent actions. Sophia learned that good intentions don't excuse bad decisions. And I learned that sometimes the people who love us most need the clearest boundaries in order to love us well. The magic of Disney wasn't in the rides or the characters or the expensive resort suites. The real magic was in learning to see each other clearly, communicate honestly, and build the kind of family relationships that can withstand even the biggest mistakes.